Hello everybody, thanks for joining in. Welcome to my session, SAP Analytics Cloud, Recent Innovations, Roadmap and Strategy. My name is Christian Rümmelin and I'm leading Product Strategy and Product Management for Planning and Analytics at SAP. Before we go into the details of SAP Analytics Cloud, let's have a quick look into our data and analytics portfolio. There we have three strategic solutions. Starting from the right-hand side, we have SAP HANA Cloud as our core foundation, our database, which serves our applications. In the middle, we see SAP DataSphere, our business data fabric offering and our strategic solution in the area of data fabric, data warehousing capabilities, etc. And then on the left-hand side, we see SAP Analytics Cloud to perform extended planning and analysis, which remains our strategic solution in the area of both business analytics and enterprise planning. That's very important. For us, it is key to be a business analytics solution and a full-scale enterprise planning solution at the same time. Business analytics to do data exploration, to create powerful dashboards and visualization, and to augment analytics with powerful machine learning and AI capabilities, and full-fledged planning functionalities to perform planning and simulation and augment this also with predictive machine learning algorithms to do predictive forecasting, etc. We share the very same platform services that you can see on the bottom of the slide here. We have the same data connectivity, data preparation, modeling environment, etc. And going forward, we will integrate this, of course, more and more closely with SAP DataSphere underneath SAP Analytics Cloud. We also have the very same front end at the top. You can see this at the top of the slide in the blue box. We have consolidated our front end recently. So in the past, we had Stories, Analytics Designer, and the Digital Boardroom that we now consolidated in a simplification exercise into the Stories to make the Stories the one powerful browser-based application and analytics tool environment going forward. We have the data analyzer to do ad hoc slicing, dicing, drill across exercises directly embedded in the browser with the goal that it's super easy to use and fast on different data sources. With our Just Ask feature, we have introduced our natural language query offering that is now GA and which is a cornerstone now to extend this going forward in the area of AI. And then last but not least, we have our Office 365 integration, where we do not only offer Excel integration, but also recently introduced the PowerPoint add-in and the integration of our workflow component, the calendar, directly into Microsoft Outlook. So we're continuing our journey to integrate SAP Analytics Cloud with Microsoft Office 365. And to underpin the strategic ambition that we have with SAP Analytics Cloud, as in every TechEd session, here's the latest number of features that we have delivered now in the last 12 rolling quarters. So we have again made it possible to ship 183 features in the last 12 months until this year, QRC3 2024. And you can also see, if you look into the categories, that story and reporting and planning are pretty similar, sometimes changing the sort order a little bit, but it also shows that both reporting in story and planning capabilities are both strategic to us, and we will continue to work on enhancing both planning and analytics within SAP Analytics Cloud. So where are we going now with SAP Analytics Cloud going forward? Let's have a look into our strategic themes. We start at the top left side of the slide. Of course, it remains key to us to integrate SAP Analytics Cloud into our SAP ecosystem. This means that we will continue our efforts to integrate SAP Analytics Cloud with BTP, with DataSphere, and with our LOB solutions such as SAP S/4HANA, SAP SuccessFactors, and more. We will continue our efforts in the middle at the top in the area of planning, where we provide flexible modeling capabilities, enhance this with simulation, our planned Compass capability. We will continue our investments into predictive planning and forecasting, multi-actions, and our workflow support component. Then, composable analytics. We managed to cut SAP Analytics Cloud into pieces, into even single widgets, and these widgets can be ingested into any kind of applications where we need it. We will come back to that later in a minute on one of the next slides. Let's go to the second line. Live data. Of course, it's key for us to continue our efforts to connect live to a various number of sources. SAP sources like SAP S/4HANA, BW, Datasphere, but also opening up for third-party data sources, where we now plan to ship a SQLite connector first into Google BigQuery, and going forward also considering additional live sources going forward. Data analyzer, I managed that already. We will continue to invest into our ad hoc exploration tool. Simplicity, I mentioned that as well. We will continue our efforts to really simplify the solution and finalize our journey to bring all the capabilities from Story, Analytics Designer, and Digital Boardroom into the Story on our new Story Enterprise stack. And then bottom, we have enterprise scale. This is something that is really important to us because SAP Analytics Cloud is growing. The number of customers are growing and the installations are growing. A couple of years ago, we had maybe thousands of users in the BI space and hundreds of users in the planning space. But today, we have 10,000 of users inside SAP Analytics Cloud in BI and thousands of users that do planning. With that, of course, SAP Analytics Cloud also needs to grow from an administration and scalability standpoint. So we do not forget about our administrators to serve them with new technology in the area of administration and observability. Also, of course, always looking into feature enhancements in the area of high performance, elasticity, and scalability. Then Office 365, we touched on this already. And then last but not least, of course, Gen AI, where we will see a deep dive later in the presentation. We cannot talk about all the 150 plus features that we plan to ship in SAC during a year, but I've picked some features for you to quickly look into some of the highlights this year. Let's start with presentation mode. We have already now introduced presentation mode, where we took many of the digital boardroom features, brought them into Story, which is already part of the SAP Analytics Cloud BI license today. The digital boardroom brings a lot of new features for executive level presentations into Story. This is definitely something you should check out. And there is a deep dive on this in the TechEd session DA109. Then we talk quickly about extensibility. Not about extensibility, about enterprise readiness. And here we have one example in the area of monitoring. We have made huge investments into administration and observability. Users can now really check for performance status of stories. We have shipped already the Performance Insight tool, the Performance One pager now with QRC 3 2024, and we plan additional enhancements then in 2025 to have a detailed page performance analysis and also going forward a Joule integration for guided analysis. So if not done already, please check out the new and the many new features in the area of observability that made their way already into SAP Analytics Cloud. Then composable analytics. Beside our already shipped PowerPoint add-in, we also worked on an Open Widget API that we now introduce with Q3 this year. What it does is that we can take widgets and ingest it into any kind of application. And this API is also built for partners so that they can take this API and ingest SAP Analytics Cloud widgets directly into specific applications. Also here, there is a deep dive on this in session DA109. Definitely something to check out. Then we have SQLite. We have invested into SQLite connection. We will now support Google BigQuery in a controlled release in Q4 this year, then followed with additional features in the year 2025. Then we're considering additional live sources for SQL Live support going forward. And also here we have a deep dive in session DA109. Check this out. This will be a new and additional capability inside SAP Analytics Cloud. Then we have seamless planning. This is one of our very strategic and important projects at the moment. What does it mean? We will move our SAP Analytics Cloud planning models, the new model, directly into SAP Datasphere and store the data inside Datasphere. With that, we can reduce data redundancy, data loads, etc. And this is what seamless planning will provide. We plan to release this feature as a controlled release now in Q4 this year, and then bring it into GA and additional features for this tool then in the course of 2025, something you definitely should have a look into. And there is a deep dive session for that as well, which is DA106. Then we have Compass. Our ambition is it always to have end users without coding knowledge to let them really access SAP Analytics Cloud. And today, of course, you can perform simulations with data scientists, but we want to make this super simple. And this is why we are investing into SAP Compass that allows end users without coding to perform powerful simulations using Compass. We plan to ship this now with the beta in Q4 this year and then make it general available in Q1 2025. Also here, there is a deep dive plan for Compass in the session DA109, one of our strategic features that we are currently working on and definitely something you should check out. And then last but not least, Joule in SAP Analytics Cloud, AI in SAP Analytics Cloud. We have done a first release with Just Ask, our natural language capability that we now plan to enhance going forward. And we plan to integrate now Joule with SAP Analytics Cloud. And we have already made substantial steps, and we plan to enter now a beta where customers can start to use this feature. And in the first release, we plan to ship already powerful capabilities. So what we can see here in this little live demo is that in the AI assistant, we can ask questions just like in Just Ask, but now directly integrated in stories. We are now in the view time of a story, so I can ask questions just like in Just Ask. I receive an answer from the tool. What's now interesting, of course, is also to look into what's in for the story designer, because for the story designer, we can of course also leverage these powerful capabilities where we can ask questions and receive answers as a chart. We also have here a lot of post-search exploration capabilities to interact directly with the charts. Now, when I'm a story designer and when I'm in the edit mode of a story, let's have a look how this will work. I can ask the very same questions and get answers from the tool right away. What I can do now in a drag and drop fashion, I can use these charts and directly move them into the story. So the assistant helps me a lot directly, not only with answering questions, but with story building. So I can take the charts, drag it into the dashboard, and with that, of course, have a higher performance when it comes to story building. It also helps me with scripting. So I can ask the assistant to generate a script that helps me to switch between year-to-date and month-to-date views in my story. Let's save this. And what we can see as the result, we can directly see how the story now switches between year-to-date and month-to-date view. So this is what we plan to ship now with the beta release of our assistant. But of course, this is not where we will stop. We have, of course, additional features planned. And I want to show you, as the last part of my presentation today, a more visionary video, how we foresee automated story creation going forward in the future. So what we plan is to let the system do the work for you. So we now select our role, so who's the persona that we're addressing. We define our goal, example here, income statement, cash and balance. Then we describe a little bit what we want to see in the story to compare now year 1 with year 2, also showing the subtotals as a special column. And then let's pick maybe a template within SAP Analytics Cloud and let the system fully automatically do the work. So after now our planned releases in the AI space, we of course also are working already on the next level vision where we want to bring SAP Analytics Cloud. And this here shows one of the automated stories that we plan to create with SAP Analytics Cloud going forward. And this is really to show you our vision where we want to go with SAP Analytics Cloud in the area of AI. And with that, I'm at the end of my initial presentation. Please also check out the learning content. You see the QR code on the bottom right side of this slide. And with that, we now still have some minutes left for Q&A. And thank you very much for joining in. And now let's see what will be in for Q&A. Thank you. So I just got some questions here in the chat. I will read them for you. So let's start with the easy one. Where can I find your slides, please? That's easy. We will upload the slides as PDF into the Tagged asset list. So there you should find the PDF and the slide deck without the videos, obviously. Let's check one of the next questions. Once planning is enabled between DataSphere and SAC, which system will be responsible for holding planning template data, and how do we work the costing aspect of the same? Let's think about this. There are several questions actually in this one. Let's start with the first one. Which system will be responsible for holding planning template date? So I assume this is the question where the stories are and where the data is. Let's distinguish. So SAP Analytics Cloud is our strategic tool for planning. So in SAP Analytics Cloud, we will continue to model the data as a planning user, where we will create data actions and business logic for planning, and where we will continue to build stories and planning applications. So this means these templates and these assets remain inside SAP Analytics Cloud. So now the model that we have created inside SAP Analytics Cloud, that we have modeled inside SAP Analytics Cloud, gets the additional option to save it inside SAP DataSphere. So with that, the data that is used inside planning will then be stored in SAP DataSphere. So stories, business logic is set and modeling itself in SAP Analytics Cloud, data storage inside DataSphere. Okay, let's go to the next question. We still have some minutes left. For the SAC stories based on BW queries, which use hierarchy in structure edit member order is disabled. Any plan to mitigate this? That's a question on a particular feature. I will need to check with my team if and when this particular feature may be on roadmap. This is something that we will answer then after that in the chat, because I need to check if there is a roadmap date planned for this, and if yes, when. I do not see any more questions at the moment. So with that, we can now close the call for today. Thank you again very much for joining in. Again, the presentation materials will be available on the TechEd portal. Please also check out our additional sessions. Again, DA109 and DA106 for details. And with that, goodbye, enjoy TechEd, and see you soon. Thank you.